Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of January 27th. We are going to jump right in here. You have the man. I'm using the Gilded Lenormand for the first row, and you have the woman. So there you go. You have a man and a woman showing up here. It could be whatever gender, but, again, if you are looking for love, that is a pretty good combination. Again, gender doesn't matter. Whatever you're looking for could be coming in for you. And like I said, it is a positive combination to get in the Lenormand, although you do have the Devil in this first row. I have definitely noticed over the past few weeks that the Devil has shown up quite a bit for a bunch of people. So, there's a couple of things going on that I feel people should just pay attention to. Again, I don't think we should be paranoid or worried or anything like that. But number one, I feel we should be careful of rose-colored glasses, where it's like we're kind of looking at something as better than it actually is. Now, that doesn't mean that something can't be good, but we're still looking at it as too good. I think we're in a time where we just have to be a little bit realistic, just so we don't get swept away in something that's never going to work out, right? So I think it doesn't mean we have to be paranoid. Like I say, life is about balance, and that's really what I would pay attention to. The other thing is I would be careful of past people or people that you've had, weird entanglements with. You have this entanglement card coming up next, but the North Node moving into Pisces, has moved into Pisces, and it's pretty, it's kind of like a karmic energy, I feel, where it's like if we have dealt with something or a person, that it could bring them back. And we also have Venus going retrograde this spring. And so that could also, kind of be an energy of people kind of, sneaking back in. So I would just make sure you're healed. You have the Four of Swords, the Seven of Cups, the Devil. This would represent healing or going through a healing. The other thing that has come up that is kind of showing up here for you is it's once you heal, it's like that. Then, of course, that's always when the person pops back up in your life, right? And so I would be careful of any situations like that. I would make sure that you are healed. You have the Seven of Cups, again, rose-colored glasses, in a lot of ways. The Seven of Cups, he is spoiled for choice. Personally, I really like the Seven of Cups. I do think that there are some challenges that come with the Seven of Cups, but it's still a good card because it says you have a lot of options in how you accomplish things. Now, that can be good and bad because sometimes when we have too many options, we pick nothing. It kind of overwhelms us when we have too many options in how we approach something. But I do feel pretty good about it. I also feel good because you have the Ace of Cups right here, which is just one cup. And so I do feel that you will be making one decision here. And this does, there is a lot of love in this reading, but this doesn't have to be love. I feel like you could be making a decision about work, where you live, with the world. As always, you get these moving cards with me here, Aries. So I feel that there could be an important decision you're making. And the Ace of Cups is just telling me if you're making any decision at all, that you will make the right decision. You have the Devil. Again, you also have this All That Glitters card coming up in the future position, which we'll talk about in a minute. And the All That Glitters card just says that something is wearing a mask. Something might not be exactly as it appears. And I really feel that, like I said, I think the best energy that you could focus on for this week would just be, again, I think we should get excited about new opportunities in life. I do think we should be in a good energy, right? But I feel this is just saying, be in a good energy, but also don't ignore things if they come up. Like if you're dating a new person and there's something toxic they do, I would call it out. This doesn't say you have to leave. It just says maybe you need to talk about it. To me, in relationships, we're all toxic, right? We all have issues. We all have things we need to take care of. And so if someone speaks up and the person corrects it, then you found a good person. Now, if they keep doing it again, you found an evil person, right? You found a devil. So, again, it's really about, it's not about just running away whenever anyone does anything. I think it's more important to say something. And then if the person changes their behavior, then obviously you found a good person. With the Four of Swords, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is kind of like a card of patience, of course, and temperance. Temperance is also about turning one thing into another, and we have the Ace of Swords to the Ace of Cups. This would literally represent healing your heart. So a lot of you, and again, we're not just talking about love here, we're talking about healing your heart in general, which you seem to definitely be focused on, and I feel that a lot of you are just kind of like healing your heart. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Five of Swords. Again, pretty good actually, because the Seven of Cups again can be the confusion, having too many choices. The Five of Swords could be separating away or walking away from too many choices. And like I said, I really get this feeling from the reading that the Ace of Cups is saying that you are like really focusing in on the choices that you're making. With the Devil, you have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups could be a new love offer. Again, I would be careful here, although, one thing I will say is that we have the Devil, Three of Swords, the World. Both the Devil and the World can represent Capricorn, so it could just be a Capricorn that's coming in for you. I still would be careful with that Three of Swords. The Three of Swords in this little sandwich we have going on here, it could represent either you or the person you're dealing with still being hurt by a past situation, which, again, I think we need to get with people when they're healed. So, if you're dealing with a person who isn't healed, you might want to, call that out. Next, you have this, here you go. You have this Pisces card. It says boundaries. It says set and honor your boundaries to avoid being taken advantage of. If you are meeting a new person, I would set your boundaries. I would also say that if, I feel like some of you, this could be like a job offer or work offer. I think it would be a really good time for you to, like, if you're getting a job offer, I would be very, very clear about what your responsibilities are and what you're going to do. I just have a feeling that, if you're getting a new job, it could be a boss who starts, piling more stuff on you. But I think if you lay those expectations out front and you say, this is what I'm going to do, or you're clear on what you're going to do, if they try to put more responsibilities on you, you can just say, that's not my job. Plain and simple. You have this entanglement card. It says, if you realize you're in an entanglement, it may be time to move on or take a break. Yes. My issue is Neptune in Pisces, as I always say. Now, Neptune will be moving into Aries this year, although it is going to retrograde back into Pisces in like June, and then it will be there, and it's going to start moving forward in December. And so what I would say with that Neptune and Pisces energy, it is the illusion. We get, I've been saying this since like 2016. With Neptune and Pisces, the problem I feel is that we are very attracted to the fantasy of this situation. So I tell people, like, be careful of dating married people. Be careful of, dating a person who just keeps making promises, right? And, I think we could all be better breaker-uppers, all of us. It's like we know when someone isn't serious. And it's not even a criticism on the person. It's like no one has to be anything for us, right? Like no one can be anything for us. So if you're dating a person and you notice right away that they start making promises, then leave. It doesn't have to be this big dramatic blowout either. You can just say, like, hey, you're going in one direction, I'm going in another. That's it. And that's what I would do. I would pay very close attention. You have the King of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. See, the King of Pentacles is serious. It's almost like there is a difference here between like this Page of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So maybe you're dealing with two people, or you have two options. The Seven of Cups, you have a lot of options. And the King of Pentacles is more serious, more willing to put in the work. The King of Pentacles, I always say, I love for love purposes, because they really want to put the work in. They really want to make things happen. So I would pay attention to that. I also feel very good about this for money. So I've been feeling pretty good for you for money. Now, one thing I will say, as always, with you, Aries, is I would be focusing on upgrades. I think that is the secret sauce for you for the next few years, at least, is everything you're doing. How can you upgrade it? How can you take it to the next level? How can you change it and bring it to a new audience? Like whatever it is you do for work. If you focus on that, you will do very well. And that's what I would focus on. You have the Three of Swords. I do feel healing here, mostly because of the Temperance card and also the fact that you have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is kind of like a healed heart. So the Three of Swords is about forgiveness. And the Three of Swords, those swords are in your own heart. And I always say we have to remove those swords from our heart so that we can heal. And that all we have to do is forgive the past. We don't have to forgive a person directly. We just have to forgive them in our heart. And again, I'm wondering if that's what's going on here, is that you do have a past connection that you need to heal. And it could have been a person you were kind of like in an entanglement with, like maybe they were married, or maybe they were, something else, whatever. And, I think healing is going to set you free. You have the Ace of Cups. I do feel like there is something new, though. We go like this. We go King of Cups to the Two of Pentacles. We have the Lovers, which would be new love. We have the King of Pentacles to the King of Cups. Like, this is probably one person if you want love. It could be someone who's very stable, but also very connected to their emotions. with the King of Cups. So if you want love, it's definitely here. Now you have the King of Wands with the King of Pentacles. So the King of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for something that you want to accomplish. This is almost like an emperor right here. You know, all we're missing is a King of Swords, and we would have a person who is basically an emperor. Sometimes I feel that this could say that you're attracting a person who is almost an emperor, which, you know, could be a good thing. With the Three of Swords, what do you know? You have the Seven of Cups. Someone had too many options, for sure, here, and it probably already led to a breakup. So, but I also feel this is something that needs to be healed. It's weird that we have like good love and bad love showing up in the reading at the same time, which would tell me that someone, whether it's you or this person, needs to, you know, heal or let go of a past situation. Pretty straightforward. With the Four of Cups, you have, or sorry, the Ace of Cups, you have two cards. You have the Five of Cups and the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, of course, is marriage. The Five of Cups is disappointment, or, you know, really the Five of Cups is about needing to be grateful for what you have. So we need to turn around and see those two cups, you know, like the Two of Cups. So there, you know, you might be grieving the loss of something that you once enjoyed, like a person, but there's something much, much better coming in for you that could lead to marriage. So definitely looks like a love reading. And again, if you don't want love, this would be something that you will love. I think even if you do want love, I still feel this reading is talking like a little bit about work because of the World card, believe it or not. The World is an accomplishment, and it definitely seems to me like you've been trying to upgrade something in work. So again, the Four of Wands could just say you're committing to a change in work to upgrade the work that you do. Next in the area, messages from your future self. You have this building blocks card and this all that glitters card. Yeah, all that matters is results is really what these two cards should say. The building blocks card, this lady is being lifted up by these blocks that are falling around her. The all that glitters card says all that glitters is not gold, but literally I feel what these two cards are saying is pay attention to results. If you're getting results, keep going. If you're not getting result, or if you're, you know, especially in love, if you're dealing with a person who says things but they don't do them, then that is something you should avoid. Now, again, I think that these two cards are saying the results will speak for themselves. You have the World, the King of Cups, and the Hermit. The World is an accomplishment or an achievement. It's also the end of a cycle. You know, in the major arcana, we go from the Fool to the World, and then we start all over again as a Fool. So a lot of you are probably about to have some sort of new beginning in your life. I also get this upgrade, the upgrade thing. I do feel it is time for Aries to kind of claim their place in the world. So whatever you have been working towards for a long time, you could be kind of expressing it in a bigger way. You could be, you know, kind of taking center stage here a little bit, or trying to, and I feel all of those things would be good for you. Again, if I were you, I think it's very simple. I would just focus on upgrades. You have the King of Cups. So again, if you are attracting love, I feel like you're attracting someone who is very connected to their emotions. The King of Cups is sitting in the middle of the ocean, and it just represents the fact that he has very deep emotions, and he has explored them to a deep level. So you could be attracting someone who's very emotionally healthy or stable. The King of Cups is also a card that represents the home to me. So I feel for a lot of you that there is definitely a move, which we have been talking about for months. So maybe you've been thinking about moving or wondering like if you should move or if you shouldn't move. And I feel like some of you are probably going to end up moving, as I've been saying. You could also be making a move. So if you've been thinking about getting a new job or entering into a new job, I also think that's possible for a lot of you as well. You have the Hermit. The Hermit is about coming out of hermit mode. You know, again, like a lot of people, I think that, you know, for the past many years, we've all been kind of like in a cocoon. We've been living in caterpillar soup, right? A caterpillar basically turns into soup before it turns into a butterfly. And so we've been in this stage where we've been, you know, it's been a very introspective time. Maybe that's a better way to put it. And so I think a lot of people have been kind of hiding in a shell. And when you think about it, a butterfly is very fragile when it comes out of its cocoon. You know, it's very in a very fragile state. Even when a butterfly pumps its wings up, butterfly wings are very fragile. And I think that's something that people need to realize, is that we are all kind of like in a fragile energy. And so if we're building something new business, new career, if we're trying to reinvent ourselves, we need to be kind and gentle to ourselves, but we also need to focus on foundational energy. We need to make sure that we're doing things that make us stronger, so that because of the fragile state that we are all in, and if we work on that inner strength, then obviously we will be stronger. And that's definitely popping into my head with that Hermit, is that you need to work on yourself, right? And I think that that will be good for you, Aries. With the World, you have the Knight of Swords. A lot of rushing energy. There is some sort of sense of urgency this week. A lot of people have had the Knight of Swords, and I feel people might feel a sense of urgency or feel like there's a rush, but the Knight of Swords says don't rush. So take your time and don't rush. With the King of Cups, you have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is about moving on to calmer shores. So there could be a lot of improvements. I would say if you are attracting a new person, that it will be a big improvement. I mean, we have the Six of Swords to the Lovers right here. And so there could be some sort of major improvement coming in for you. And I feel like it will be something that makes you very happy. So, I don't know. I like this for you. I feel like there are just a lot of improvements. With the Hermit, you have the King of Pentacles. The other thing is, like, someone could be making themselves known here to you with the Hermit and the King of Pentacles. Definitely giving me Earth vibes. Again, you have basically all the signs here. So it could be any sign, but I do feel like some of you could be attracting someone. The one warning I will give you is that if you want love, that it does seem to me like you are attracting a person who's been through something. Three of Swords, Hermit. Hermit says this person's been in hermit mode, and I feel like the King of Pentacles would be them kind of making themselves known. I would just make sure that someone is healed. Again, if you're paying attention to sign symbols and synchronicities in the connection, and you notice that they're being like too guarded, or maybe they're not communicating with you or whatever, then I would call it out. You have this turtle, it says slowness and protection. You have this gazelle, it says change and purity on it. Definitely a need to take your time. You have that slowness and protection card. There is this weird sense of urgency. Like I said, I'm not sure what's going on this week to create this energy, but it just seems to me like people really could... It's like feeling a certain pressure that they can't describe. And that's what I feel like people feel. Like, I have to get somewhere, but this is how I feel, right? Let me just tell you how I feel. I put myself in your shoes when I'm reading. So it's like, I feel like I have to get somewhere, but I don't know where I'm going, And so I feel like this is saying, like, just slow it down. Things are changing. You probably feel this way because we're going through a change, but things will get better. And, rushing isn't going to help. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Ten of Wands. Two of Pentacles is work hard, play hard. In the good stuff, I would say you're creating balance, or you are balancing yourself out. So, creating balance, of course, is a good thing. And I just feel that you're kind of balancing things out. You have the Lovers. So, again, clearly this was meant to kind of be a love reading. You have the man and the woman at the beginning of the reading. And, so, again, it kind of makes sense that there would be love coming in for you. You have the Lovers, Page of Cups, all these love cards showing up here. So if you want love, definitely could be a new connection. I also feel that this, the Lovers traditionally was a card of the crossroads, having a choice to make. And so I would be picking the upgrade in all areas of your life here, Aries, because that is going to lead to the best result. You have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is finally getting a result. He is carrying a heavy burden, but he's about to reach his home in the background. Coming up in the area of the good stuff, this would say that you are releasing a burden and you're finally putting that burden down right here. So I do like to see that for you. That looks really good. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Strength card. Yes, Hermit and Strength. I'm telling you right now, like, I think this is a very simple reading. They're like, I would ignore love even, right? I think there's two things that you can focus on here, which are your strength and working on your inner strength, and working on, being strong enough to call things out in connections right up front, so that you can correct them. And again, if you find a person who's willing to work on things, then, again, that's like half the battle. 90% of people nowadays do not do that. That's why relationships are a mess. So if you can find a person who does it, then great. You found a great person. So, I would work through that. I forgot the other thing that I was talking about here, but I said it earlier. So just rewind the reading. Again, I don't want to waste a bunch of time trying to remember what I was thinking about. With the Lovers, you have the High Priestess. I feel you need to trust your intuition as well. Your intuition will tell you what's right and wrong. Every time, like every relationship I've been in, it's like pretty much... I've known exactly what was going to happen pretty much right away. And I don't really, I always tell people I think life is about experiences. Like people on podcasts and stuff have asked me about this, and they say, like, do you regret like spending a year with that person or, whatever. And I'm always like, well, no, life is about experiences. It's like, yeah, maybe I knew that it was going to end a certain way, or I could tell kind of at the beginning of the reading. I think we all can, right? But it's like, I also don't think we should avoid being in relationships if there's something weird going on at the beginning, as long as it's not super toxic, And I think we have experiences to learn. So I always tell people, it's like, yeah, you're not going to die when someone breaks up with you. People always tell me, like, every time I say this, people will say things like, it's like, yeah, but what if I get hurt? I'm like, well, you're not dead, so get over it. Life is about getting hurt. The people who are willing to get hurt more, hurt, you're not really hurt. The people who are willing to take risks become successful. So it's like, we have to be willing to be tough. We have to be willing to be heartbroken, and we have to be honest with ourselves and say, like, this person clearly wasn't right. It's like, people always leave me these stories, and they're always like, I dated this person, and when we first started dating, they were going out every night and coming home drunk, and they were driving drunk, and I really thought this person loved me. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. They're a dumbass. They drove drunk. You have to be able to be honest and say, this person clearly was effed up in the head because they drove drunk, and they also weren't with me every single night. They were going into a club every single night, probably talking to other people. We have to be willing to say it. You have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is quick success. Again, this is the other thing I would focus on, is the direction of your energy and being successful. Oh, the thing that I was talking about was upgrading, right? So the two things are upgrades and your inner strength are what you should be working on, plain and simple. You have this funnel card. It says period of frustration, lessons to be learned. We've all been through a period of frustration. This card is a funnel. And so I actually like this card because I believe in life. I believe life is about course correction. We go this way, we have to come back to center. We go this way, we come back to center. And eventually we funnel down and become super focused. And becoming focused leads to success. So I think these frustrations are leading to something good. You have this card that says changes in your life. Yeah, you have two cards of great change. The Gazelle card that says change and purity, and this card. So definitely some good changes. You have this crown. It says honor and respect will come to you. Love it. Definitely really good. You have this cane. It says pay attention to your health. I think everybody needs to pay attention to their health right now. I don't think we should be paranoid. I just think we should be healthy. You have this fire. It says strong emotion, passionate love or hate. I do think there's a person maybe you hate, and I feel like there's a person that you will probably love. Don't confuse the two. Don't put the hate on the new person, right? That's what I would do there. But pretty interesting here, Aries. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.